What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports, back again with another one. Boxing returns tonight. Top ranked ESPN put on a show tonight, and rising young sensation Shakur Stevenson scores a 6-round knockout over Felix Caraballo. Man, it was a much more aggressive Shakur Stevenson tonight, as he's a defensive wizard and has had a lot of comparisons to Floyd Mayweather. And he's a guy that has pinpoint accuracy and is a very strong technician. And tonight he showed the aggressive side. He was on the attack more, let his hands go, and he took a couple of shots, man. But he was able to get a first round knockdown with a hard body shot. And he was able to knock Caraballo down, man. Caraballo had showed a strong beard, man. He took a lot of headshots, and Shakur Stevenson recognized that and started going to the body, and eventually broke him down with a right hook to the body that hurt him real bad. And then he came back with a left hook to the solar plex and caught Caraballo in the middle of an exchange, and he was able to ultimately stop Felix Caraballo in the 6th round, man. Great performance by Shakur Stevenson, who knows he's going to put on more exciting performances if he wants to cross over and go from a hardcore boxing fans' attention to casual boxing fans' attention. You know, people like Floyd Mayweather, who had that persona of a bad guy, wore the black hat, he was able to cross over. And ultimately, black fighters have a hard time with just, relying on their skill, technician, and technique, and being, quote-unquote, guys that don't like to stir the pot. They have a hard time selling in boxing, a la Andre Ward, Chance Crawford, and guys of that ilk, man, have had a hard time crossing over. And Shakur Stevenson is looking to try to break that mold and be himself and be spectacular in the ring and hopefully have that crossover appeal, man. The future remains to be seen if he's able to do that, man. But a great performance by him. He's one of the 4 young rising stars that I look at that possibly could take over the sport of boxing. I like him, Shakur Stevenson. You got Tank Davis. You got Teofimo Lopez, and you got Ryan Garcia, and you got Devin Hayden. I'll put them 5 right in there. Ryan Garcia, I think he's probably got to put him in that category as his last performance. He put on a spectacular performance as he got a first-round knockout and showed the devastating power with the left hook, right hook power. He was able to drop his previous opponent with I think it was a classic De La Hoya left hook, as he's shown more power. And that's one thing Shakur Stevenson has showed in this fight, man. And he's always showed the defensive wizardry, like I said before, the technical skills, great jab, great right hand. But he, in his earlier fights, he's not shown the power. And that's the only thing that's probably been missing from his repertoire is the power. Everything else has been there as far as the defense, combination, the head movement, the controlling of distance. He did a good job tonight of turning Caraballo. As Caraballo kept his hands low as he was trying to protect the body. And Shakur Stevenson was able to dissect that and able to kind of move to the left, move to the right, and catch him on the side, right up under the arms, with the shots right above the hip. He did a good job tonight of doing that, man. Kind of finding those small openings. Even though Caraballo had his hands low, protecting the body, he was still able to find those small openings to the left side and right side of Caraballo's body. And he was able to sometimes catch him with shots in between the 2 elbows where they was low, trying to protect the body. He was able to go in between the 2 elbows and catch him with some shots to the midsection. So he did a good job tonight, man. A great performance by Shakur Stevenson, man. A lot of people comparing him to Floyd Mayweather, saying he's the next Floyd Mayweather. But he said after the fight, man, I took a little bit from Mayweather. I took a little bit from Chance Crawford. I took a little bit from Pernell Whitaker. I took a little bit from Andre Ward. So he's taking small pieces from each of those games, those great fighters. And he's looking to be that next superstar in the sport of boxing, man. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what transpires. But again, tonight, as boxing comes back to the United States and worldwide, man, as they put on a boxing card in Las Vegas with no fans, Shakur Stevenson scores a 6-round knockout over Felix Caraballo. Quick note on Felix Caraballo, man. Y'all, all you people that's watching this video, man, if you didn't see the fight, man, go look at that guy, man. That guy looks just like Miguel Cotto. Looks just like Miguel Cotto. Like Miguel Cotto, you know, like say everybody got a twin. That's Miguel Cotto twin right there, man. Felix Caraballo, man. But he showed a great heart, great chin, man. But as Shakur Stevenson made the adjustment in the midpoint of that fight and started quit head hunting. As he saw that the guy could take shots to the head, he went to the body, and that's eventually how he was able to get the knockout with the right hook to the body, which hurt him bad, and then another left hook to the solar plexus. They ended up finishing off Felix Caraballo, as Felix Caraballo was attempting to throw a punch. He caught him in exchange, and he was able to get to the mark quicker than Felix Caraballo. So we'll see what happens, man. It's been talk about Shakur Stevenson fighting Josh Warrington, but you know, I believe it when I see it. I don't think Eddie Hearn and Warrington are in any kind of rush to fight Shakur Stevenson. It's levels to this. Josh Warrington is a good, solid fighter, worked his way up, and was able to finally have his day in the spotlight when he defeated Carl Frampton, and he was able to get the title there. But the guy has no chance, in my opinion, to beat Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson is just a much better fighter. It's on a different level. Now, it's a small chance they might fight him if he willing to come over there to the UK and fight him. But even then, outside of a robbery, I don't see Shakur Stevenson losing to Josh Warrington, man. He's just a much more complete fighter, most hand speed, and just a better and more technically sound and better footwork, quicker hands, better defense. It's no department that Josh Warren is better than Shakur Stevenson in the sport of boxing, man. But he gets the check mark in each thing. You look at jab, check mark, go to Shakur Stevenson. Head movement, go to Shakur Stevenson. Defense, go to Shakur Stevenson. Body work, now that might be a check mark for Josh Warren, who is a real strong body puncher. But Shakur Stevenson showed tonight that he can go to the body. Now, one thing Shakur Stevenson might have to worry about is the weight. Because he looked much more comfortable and much stronger and showed more power at 130. Will he be willing to try to, you know, go back down to 126, weaken his body, and then maybe that take away from his power? And that could give Josh Warrington a slightly better chance than he would have otherwise. That remains to be seen. But I think that's part of the reason why the power might not have been there at the lower weight for Shakur Stevenson. Maybe he was, draining his weight just to make 126, and previously making lower weights than that, 122 earlier in his career. You know, maybe he's a big guy. He's a big 126 pounder. So maybe he's getting toward more of his natural weight class, and that's why the power is coming toward the forefront in this last fight with Felix Caraballo. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what transpires. But let me know what you think in the comment section about Shakur Stevenson possibly fighting Josh Warrington. Josh Warrington is supposed to be fighting a unification matchup against Zak Zahn, a guy from Asian fighter. That's the fight they were looking to put on before COVID-19. Eddie Hearn has recently stated that he's still looking to put that fight on. If Josh Warrington is successful against that, will they be willing to fight Shakur Stevenson next? Shakur Stevenson has already stated that he's willing to go to the UK. So we'll be waiting to see what transpires as far as those two matching up. Me personally, I wouldn't hold my breath. If I'm Shakur Stevenson, I'll try to look for some titles at 130, because I think this is, power-wise, was his best performance, man. He showed much better power at 130 than he showed at 126 and at the lower weight. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens as he grows into his man body. 22 years old, Shakur Stevenson, getting his man strength. He looked at real impressive, especially power-wise. The power was there tonight on display. Defense was a little bit suspect as he got hit a couple of times in exchanges, more than I ever seen him get hit. But that's what happened when you're a little bit more offensive minded, looking for the knockout, as he stated before the fight. You're gonna leave yourself open to take some shots coming in. So that's the part of the plan of being more offensive minded. You're gonna take more chance. You're gonna be taking more incoming when you're more aggressive. So he took a little bit more shots, man, but it was a good trade, because his offense was much more on display. His power was much more on display tonight, and I think it was a good trade-off to, sacrifice a little bit defense. It wasn't like he was getting hit a lot, but he got hit more than he probably got hit in his other fight. But it was a good trade-off to get hit just a little bit more, to be more offensive-minded, and put on display a spectacular performance in a fan-friendly fight, and maybe he can get more fans and more attention off this performance tonight in the first boxing match back post COVID-19. Let me know what you think in the comment section. This is JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. Holla.